David of the Savage Experience, and I'm here at MAGFest X with Maffew, Botchamania. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, first begin with, what do you think is the universal appeal of the show?
I wouldn't say there was a universal appeal to the show. That's one of the things. Like, you can classify nerd people in several categories and actually works, but wrestling fans are uncategorizable to the other because, we've got fans who like one guy, another guy, wherever anything happens at World Smackdown, there's always 20 people to say that was great, that was the best thing ever, that was the worst thing ever. I think it's just basically people who can enjoy wrestling even when it's bad, because that's basically the large part of enjoying wrestling, because it's never perfect, it will never be perfect. A lot of wrestling is, some wrestling talk is like, wrestling is about dealing with the negatives, because there'll always be, no match will ever be completely clean. Well, maybe a match with Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat match where they practice it 19 times. But even then, stuff will happen. It's about improvising, it's about stuff going bad. A star getting injured, that's true for a pay-per-view, a storyline going nowhere. You're going to put the positive, the negatives getting happening. So I think that, I would say that's a universal appeal. And the fact that some people just like to see people having accidents because Wario is secure. Just a bit better with something that makes them feel with themselves.
Now, is this your first time that you've gone to MAGFest?
It's my third time.
Now, a question concerning like Botchamania, like what makes Botchamania a part of the Music and Games Festival?
It doesn't. No, I just asked to be here and they said yeah. Well, the music that is in Botchamania is obviously there's so many bands that have been playing here that say, hey, we're big fans, and that's great to me, because there's a lot of correlation between video games and wrestling, because they're both male-orientated and aimed at predominantly males. There's classic wrestling games like WrestleFest, so on and so forth. So there's that sort of link, and there's this year's panel and last year's panel group, there's actually people who turn up and hear me say stuff and just watch Scott Stand and just be amongst wrestling fans, because like some of the nerdy things here, like any of the activities, the card games or arcade games, you don't always get the chance of being around wrestling fans. Not everyone has the luxury of like, oh, I'm just going to go to the show with my friends, or I'm going to go watch Raw with like next door neighbour or whatever. There's a lot of people who just watch wrestling by themselves on their computer alone. So getting them all together in one room and yeah.
And did you ever feel any temptation to put yourself in the series? Because, I mean, to be honest, you are funny, quick-witted. And did you ever feel that way?
See, I've got lots of opinions when it comes to, I like to call it, man standing in front of the camera trying to be funny by saying fuck a lot. Things like the guy with glasses, spoony, etc. Nothing against the people personally, it's just nothing I like. Because I'm not going to sound like I'm all high culture or anything, but I was raised on pretty good comedy growing up. I film big movies with Bob Morgan, so Mystery Science Theater 3000, so seeing a guy with a digicam or whatever, or their mum's Sony DV in the room talking, hey, I know stuff, yeah, cool, I don't see the challenge in it. There's nothing fun. And plus, I'm not a very communicative person, so that helps. And I think with personalities like that, you do get the sense you judge people on things by their looks, by if they like something, certain tan, certain hairstyle, whatever. Subconsciously, unconsciously, you will judge them somehow. And I didn't want to basically, hey, you have to watch Botchamania, you have to like Maffew. Like, no, you have to like me. It's, I have someone put my opinion in the videos, but I try and at least, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, have positives and negatives. Like, Sanjay Dutt deserves more, like the game I saw with me. This guy, AR Fox is a wrestler in Philadelphia, but AR Fox pretends to bosh to make people think he's human. Stuff like that, so I extremely positive. That's like the only time you see my opinion, but yeah, generally I don't think, if I was to show my face, it would just be at the very end, and it would just be, I've often thought how I would end the series, and it would just be me going, well, that was it. So much, yeah. It would just be so undramatic as possible, just because I couldn't do anything better. It would just be, well, this is Maffew, thank you for all the fish, sort of.
Although you can argue that the memes that you put in the series of videos, that is essentially your voice. You can say that you are making an appearance with your jokes and gags. Yeah,
the unseen hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, it
works effectively.
Thank you. It's very rarely, it's weird because there's a few times when I've been negative about wrestlers. Like the most recent example was Jimmy Rave. He used to wrestle in Nevada, I lived in South Beach, and basically he messes up with Paul Cabana, Danny Daniels again. So I put can't spell overrated without rave, which you can't. And he thanks me on Twitter because wrestlers realise, some more than others, realise that the social media thing that a lot of wrestling is done nowadays, advertised, watched due to like streaming websites. If people are talking about you, it's good. All publicity is good publicity. You know, to a certain extent, but even me just mentioning Jimmy Brave's name as part of just watching a video, if you don't know who Jimmy Brave was, like, look at that guy with the silly haircut. Just being mentioned, they're happy about that. So it's weird because they get the sense that, you know, is Maffew saying, sorry, to bring third person, is Maffew saying this just to get a reaction, just so some guy on Twitter or Facebook can go, oh, thanks man for putting me over, like, this is my website, or is he doing it because he actually believes it? And I think I tend to do a certain extent because I mentioned I can get out of sticky situations and also take credit for things that I didn't really intend to be. I was probably too honest.
Now, did you ever think that you helped bring in new fans of professional wrestling?
I wouldn't say that because MAGFest is one of the only times I get to interact with fans and stuff, so it was rather weird that I was like, hey, everyone talked like you did last year, we'll just sit and have a big group discussion. And instead everyone was just like, wow, it's the Botchamania guy. Just like, oh, okay. But apart from that, I would say there's a few people who I know, actually, I said this who tell me, because it's what's happening in TNA? Is that guy the champion? Like, what's Botchamania? So I don't watch the videos. I don't watch TNA. I just find out what's happening in TNA via Botchamania. I'm like, I'm happy about that. But as opposed to new fans, it's more old fans who used to watch it, then watch Raw and go, fuck that. And then they watch videos and say, thank you for reminding me it used to be good. I suppose the new fans of wrestling, I don't see how that works because it's for wrestling fans. It's obviously by a wrestling fan, for wrestling fans, and not in the sense that laughing with rather than laughing at. So it's trying to avoid the epic fail, you know, the giant landed on his head, ha ha ha, he could have died. Not that type of way, it's, you know, and that's why wrestling fans, wrestlers appreciate it. If it was just like, ha, lol, he died. I would hate it, and I think people would hate me for good reason. So.
Definitely, of course. Let me ask, what are the differences between wrestling in the UK than in the US, or is there a different perspective for those who are wrestling fans that are from the UK than wrestling fans in the US?
That's good. Wrestling fans in Britain, maybe the same as America, but I don't know. Wrestling fans in Britain are very loyal to their product. Wrestling, between wrestling shows in the UK, or just how like wrestling fans see all wrestling?
It can be both.
Wrestling shows in the UK are just they're all small. It's sad to say there's no like television support for anything major, and it doesn't look like it'll ever be because it requires all the promoters to get along. And when there's like 900 promoters in one island, it's not going to work because they're all cutthroat, all trying to make money out of something that isn't traditionally a money maker. So nobody trusts anybody to try to get it actually make something. But there's so much talent on the British scene that most Americans would be familiar with, like the likes of Spud. I can't think of anybody. It's very late. Spud 2, Spud harder. But in terms of like WWE, there's so many people who will watch wrestling that I know, that are friends of mine, who are watching it and love it. And they know it's not as good as it used to be, but they still enjoyed the good bits, which I think is a good attitude. We like say, hope for the best, expect the worst. And you know, and I try and I should have said at the panel, but I didn't like try and get it over like ovulating lady parts like the book says. Like enjoy it while it's good, laugh at it when it's bad. Because otherwise you end up being these people like, oh, I'm gonna type about this show sucked and here's the reasons why. And you're like, it's wrestling. I take it seriously because I watch a shitload of it. But at the end of the day, if I overanalyze it like that, I'll stop liking it. You know, it's supposed to be entertaining. If you're taking that amount of time to complain about something, you should probably stop watching it.
Do you have a background in film production, in particular editing? Because editing is quite good. So.
Thank you. If you'd seen some of the earlier Botchamanias, you wouldn't agree with that, but I appreciate that. I've definitely gotten better. You can see the gradual curve from like down here, you know, like Jeff Hardy circa now to Jeff Hardy 2007. And yeah, I did film media at university, thinking that would be more analysing what makes it good rather than the production side of it, because learning production now is sort of a wasted task thing in Britain, because like now media is progressing so much, they teach the basic stuff you learned at university 5 years ago at school. So it's like if kids today can use like Adobe, so it's like, oh okay, cool. sell it to film media to analyse it, to see what makes that good, what makes that good. I think this, and I think I appreciate that. It hasn't really helped get me a job, but once you know how to make something good, that's it. And so it does ruin your enjoyment of watching anything, be it wrestling, Antiques Roadshow, from the day to day. You'll be like analysing, I can see how they're doing that. Yeah, but it makes you appreciate the good things better. And I think you can appreciate that mindfulness more than others. And I'm saying that very selfishly. I know I'm bragging. I'm sorry, because there's so many people that I'm watching videos going, "What's this guy trying to do? Do you have any idea what he's trying to do?" He has an idea of what he's trying to do, but he does not know how to put it together.
And finally, if you were a pro wrestler, what would be your gimmick, finisher, and entrance theme?
I would probably be Steve Corino. That would be my entire character. Not actually named Steve Corino, like, hopefully in better shape. Not with a forehead that looks
destroyed. It looks just as bad as Flair.
Yeah, I'd wear a hat more. Yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that type of getting under people's skin and actually using sense. It's like being underappreciated by everybody. My finisher would be. Oh, that's a good question. I'm not putting thought of this. I'll do like a D'Lo Brown and have like 5 finishes, which are actually basic moves, and just have Maffew in front of it. Like, my God, not the Maffew leg drop. My God, the Maffew clover leaf. It's a good way of avoiding a question. And for my entrance music, I've often thought Genova from Final Fantasy VII would be a good intro, because the way it starts, there's an intro and you hear, and you go, that's when the crowd goes, yay, and then it waits, and then it kicks in. That's when it can come out. Because I think some of the best themes, not in terms of like composition, but in terms of getting the crowd to respond and go, oh, it's that guy, and oh, I like this song, just the Rock's 1 in 2000, and then it's drowned out. That's all you hear of the intro, because the crowd go, oh, that's what, that type of thing.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Make me feel like a big deal.
Definitely, and I hope you have a great weekend here at MAGFest X.
You too, man. Where's it going to be on?
What's that?
Where's it going to be on?
As soon as possible on The Savage Experience. It's youtube.com/The Savage Experience.
See how that put that?
Yep.
You should watch The Savage Experience. Experience?
Yeah, The Savage Experience.
The Savage Experience, not an experiment. That would be silly.
Yes, it definitely would.
Only on YouTube. And possibly Blip and Daily Motion.